Greetings to you. Welcome to ASBM Lead Talks Integration Functions, ASBM IHRM 2020, organized by Adithya School of Business Management. It is a wonderful day. I feel privileged to and extend my warm welcome to our present here and welcome our chairman, Engineer C. Sukumaran sir, in absence here, our managing trustee, Praveen Kumar sir, and Srimati Praveen Kumar madam, in absence here. Our dynamic professor, Dr. N. Sundarabandyan sir, and our honorable guest, Mr. Ahmed Elsherif. Welcome you, sir. And
Welcome, dear.
I'm super excited to have all about the amazing conversations too we are going to today. Before we beginning, join us today a man of ritual simplicity. He is a multinational senior to executive and strategic thinker, experienced in the learning organization to achieve business turnaround by executing complex strategic plans across the multinational geographic through his unique ability to join the multinational environment. I feel elated to intro Mr. Ahmed Elsherif, sir, the current Human Resource Director for Dar El Mustafa Psychiatrist Hospital, Alexandria, Egypt. So, an accomplishment human resource professional, he has a progressive experience to across HR areas with over 2 decades of experience of working with several well-known organizations in Egypt and United States of Emirates. With the organization likes, he worked with Union National Bank Egypt, Union National Bank UAE, Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank. Recently, he worked on going to Dar El Mustafa Psychiatric Hospital, Egypt. In current assignments, heading to HR functions, driven HR transformation, change management process for Dar El Mustafa Psychiatric Hospital. He had a unique opportunity to work with across sectors ranging banking to hospital, which is had to help to him to build a diversity HR perspective on various challenges, complexity, and opportunity with respective to people management. Our chief guest, certified a human resource manager by Columbia Southern University, professional beginning trainer. He also HR consultant, earned a 4 postgraduate diplomas and 6 personal certification in banking, HR, CHRM, NPL, and management development. Lean Six Sigma and IMS auditor. The more humble and transparent a leader is, a more effective will has. Some with leader who are passionate to about the employer, but branding helping to impressing teams to success by leading the creating culture and inspiring people to strive excellence. He is a people management who really nice to have here, sir. Thank you for inspiring for our time with us, your valuable time. Without much delay, I request the team members of ASBM to start the questions.
Before we start the questions, I want to ask all of you why you are seeking the HR career. Simple question. It seems it looks simple, but I think it has all of it. Can we start with you, Dinesh, and then we can just move to the others? Just a quick and brief answer.
Sure, sir. So we are on first MBA students. We are going to step into the corporate life. So this is a time where we are going to select our specializations further. So we need to know how the fields will be like HR, marketing, and finance, etc. So this is the first step.
Sorry to stop you. Maybe I asked the wrong question, or maybe I just asked it in a wrong way. Why you want to be in the HR field? Why you want to be an HR? Why you don't seek another profession, another job? Why you want to be an HR professional?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
I'm preferring HR because I have a confidence that I can manage people, and even though people thinking HR is a very good, very easy task, but by learning HR concepts and other things, I'm thinking HR is a very difficult task, and I have the interest to control and manage the people. So I prefer.
I like your enthusiasm. Okay, thank you. This is a good thing. We'll start from it, but I need also another people to participate. Why you want to be an HR?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
That HR is a person who manages with their management and the employees.
Why you want to be an HR? I'm
Yes, sir, that's the main reason. I just want to have a great network in future. So I just want to make my employees to work in a good organization environment.
okay. So thank you for that. Anyone else want to just share his passion about the HR? Why he want or she want to be in the HR field?
Good day, sir.
Okay. So for me,
I want to
yes,
be a
tell me.
HR.
Go ahead.
I want to be HR my association because HR is who manage the people to working with them. But HR is professional person to make herself is a best and to manage himself. It's really so. I want to become HR. That's it.
Okay. Thank you for that, my friend. But for me, my passion people about HR is because I like to deal with people, not to manage people, not to handle people, not to organize people, because I like to deal with people. There are some people who like to deal with numbers, people who wants to deal with mathematics, people who wants to be an engineer. For me, I like to deal with people. So when you love to deal with people in a different ranks, from the associate to manager to whatever there in the organization, then you will be good at HR. Also, HR is very, very difficult function because you will not be able to satisfy everyone. If you try to satisfy the management, you will just, I don't know, you will put a lot of weight on or a lot of pressure on the staff themselves. If you want to satisfy the staff, you will put a lot of pressure on the management, and you need to make some balance between both sides. How to be an HR professional? I can give you some advice about how to be an HR professional. But if you choose the HR just because it's just a job, trust me, you will not succeed. If you want to be a professional HR, you need to have the passion to be that. You need to just look forward that I will be there in a couple of years. Because if someone can do it, then you can do it. Simple. No one can put limits for you except you. Simple as that. If you said that I will not be able to study this subject, I have an exam next week. If someone can study it, then you can do. If someone can get a high score, then you can do. If there is a function and you put a limitation for yourself, it will be your limits. The one who put the limits is you. But if you want to succeed in your life, you need to think globally. I want to be, I will be, then you will be. Simple of that type. Any question before I give you my advice about the HR, or we can start with your questions, people, as you like.
Sir, before that, can you please share about yourself, sir, the way how you become HR?
Okay, fine. For me, I started in a bank. I started in the credit department for about five years. This was Alexandria Commercial Bank. It was in Egypt, small bank in Alexandria, Egypt, for about 5 years. And I was a professional at that time. I think my performance, I get an excellent performance for the whole 5 years. Then I found that there is a new trend called HR. I didn't know what is the HR. So I started to read about the HR. I started to know what is the HR. And for me, I know myself that I like to deal with people, not to manage people, but to deal with people, to motivate them, engage them, find their passion about the work, just to listen to them, try to talk to the management if someone needs something, try to be a balance between both parties, the management and the staff. So I found that my HR or the HR, it will be my career. So I shifted from the credit to the HR. At that time, most of my colleagues told me that I was lucky to be in the credit. So when I shift to the HR is not that good. Yani how you shift and leave the credit to be an HR. Credit is one of the highest paid salaries in a bank. So when you leave the credit, you will go to the HR. HR is not that good. It's just like a personnel. You go for salaries, you go for benefits, you go for such dummy work. It doesn't need a brain. But I found myself that no, I need to be in HR. I love to deal with people, so I need to go for my dream. And I can tell you stories about changing my dream from here and there. But the thing that my work will not support me all the time. So I mean that they give me some trainings, but for me, I want to be a professional. So I seek some diplomas on my own from my own pocket. I seek to get some certification. I get some training here and there. Every couple of years, I need to get some qualification, certification, or training or diplomas. If you go through some CV there on the LinkedIn, I get an HR diploma. I get certified human resources management from Columbia Southern. I get trained the trainer, one in Egypt and one in master trainer in the Emirates. I get a lot of qualification here and there and there. I listed some and I didn't list the others. Now I'm pursuing another certificates, which is senior professional in human resources. The thing that I will go to that later at the end, which certification you need to just go for it, but you need to put certification and the qualification every couple of years in your career. Other than that, you will be out of the channel because HR is changing every year. For example, like since you're all in the HR, at my time, when we used to hire people, it's called recruiting. Now it's called talent management. So they combine the recruiting and retention to keep people there and try to motivate them with other benefits. It's called talent management with the training. So they combined more than function and they changed it to the talent. They added other functions, for example, the engagement, how to engage people, how to just, because it's not only about the salary and the promotion. It's about how you give the people meaning for their life in the work, how they feel that they are really engaged in every activity, and so on. So you need to update yourself with courses every time and time. Again, I started for the HR. I completed like 19 years in the HR itself, worked in the training mainly, plus recruiting, compensation and benefits. And now I'm an HR head in some psychiatric hospital in Egypt. This was me in brief.
Sir, it was really an inspirational story that you had for the past 19 years, no? Right. Being in one professional for 2 to 3 years is hectic for in any other field, but continuously working in the same field for 19 years, it shows your passion towards the HR. So, and it also, we also.
Your kind words. Yeah, thank you for your kind words. And
yes, sir. Congratulations, and we hope you to serve for many more years in this profession.
Let me add small piece here, small lines here, that in your career as an HR, the top of your career will be the HR head. Or yes, you will open your own business. There is no way, and either you will be the HR head or same like other. For example, one who will work in the finance department. He will be either the head of the finance department or he will have his own business. So if you love your career, you need to be professional in your career. You need to exceed yourself. You need to put a time plan for yourself. You need to put the plan. And this I will go for in the couple of few minutes if you want to do. I will give you some of my insights about how to be an HR manager.
Yes. So we have some questions to ask you. So shall we proceed, sir?
Sure, go ahead. I prepared some according to one of your colleagues. I think it is yours, I think, or another gentleman.
Yes,
Rishnu.
Yes.
Yes, Rishnu. So I prepared some questions and then I get another questions today. I didn't have the time to prepare all, but go ahead. Whatever questions I have an answers, I will be happy to deliver it to you. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. So, sir, as a HR, how do you practice those HR practices in your country? So, every country it varies, no? So the rules and regulations and the norms and the way we recruit people and the way we train them, we develop them, and those methods. So how the HR practices is being practiced in your countries?
Actually, it differs from company to company, not in a country to country. I worked in the GCC in the UAE, and I worked in Egypt. In every company, I worked in the Union National Bank in Egypt and in Union National Bank in the Emirates. It is different there. Everyone has its own practice. Even in the Emirates, there was Abu Dhabi Bank, Abu Dhabi National Bank, Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank, sorry, and Union National Bank. I worked in both banks. Everyone has his own way of running business. So again, it's different from country to country. HR, you can read in a book. You can get whatever book that you like in the HR, for example, Gary Dessler books or other books in the HR. It has a lot of practice and theories, but again, it is not a solid thing. So you have to apply whatever you think it is right for your organization. There is no right or wrong. There is no something called the best practice. Maybe your work in a company, they will have the best recruitment, but they are moderate in the training. And you can work in other company, they have the best salaries, but they are moderate in recruiting. So it differs from organization to organization, from company to company. You have to find out about your cultures, your values, and the company cultures, company value. Then you can apply what you can apply, because you will not be able to apply from A to Z in the HR functions. Whatever you study, believe me, it's not there. You have to modify here and there just to be there with the company, with the culture, with everything.
Hi, sir. Sir, I have a how the HR wanted to be.
You want the HR to be what, or you are asking how to be an HR professional? Which one you are?
Yes, sir. How to be an HR professional?
Right. For that, I think this one of the questions that you asked me. So I made a small presentation. Just I can share it with you people if you have time. Just if you give me share content permission, then I can the admin here, if he give me the share content admission. Okay, fine. So
sure,
now
share you the link.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I made here a small journey. Can you all see the presentation? HR manager journey, people?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Sir.
Right. I will go through it quickly. So because everything it is there on the internet, but this is my advice for you. This is how I see the HR manager, and this what I am pursuing. So let me move. Okay. So how to become an HR manager? We'll talk about the steps, and what about your experience versus the qualification. What are the modern practices, best practice, and your way, how you define your way. So for me, to become an HR manager, you need, first of all, to take a bachelor's degree in a relevant degree, business or commerce or whatever degree that you have. Then you need to join any organization in the HR team in any function. Some of you will join in the training. Some of you will join in the benefits. Some of you will join in the, for example, organization development and so on. Then you try to learn from each department. You try to do some orientation here and there. Try to work some in the benefits, and so some in the learning and development, and some in the compensation and so on. You need to work in each department, so you get a generic information, and hopefully it is enough for you to advance for the next one, which you will be an HR manager. To be an HR manager, it can take you from 7 to maybe 10 years if you are good. If you start it now, I think maybe in 7 or 8 years you can be an HR manager, or it can take some more time with you. I don't know, maybe according to other circumstances that is not in your hand. Right. To become a great human resources manager, there are, I don't know here the presentation. Just let me again share it, because it's, I don't know, just disappear. Okay, 1 minute, I'm making podcast. Sorry, people. Here it is, the presentation, because I'm not able to share it from the other side. Right. Here, people, sorry, my gentlemen. So here, how to become a great human resources manager. First of all, you need to master the 5 HR functions. Anyone of you knows what is the main 5 HR functions? What are the main functions in the HR, people? Do you know it? Hello? Everyone playing dead now.
No, sir. No, sir. We are all in meeting now.
Okay.
No, sir. As we practice the HR, so it will be a good session if you give us more insights. We're ready to hear more.
It is not generic. This is my practice. Okay. What are the main functions of the HR?
Recruiting people.
Yes, thank you.
And payroll system controlling.
Yes, thank you.
Strategic planning and career management.
Thank you.
Training and development.
Thank you.
Setting plans regarding the company futures.
Thank you. So you all know what is the HR. So to be an HR manager, first of all, you need to work in the 5 functions in any organization. When you join in any organization, some of you will join, for example, in the learning and development or the training. Some of you will be in the recruiting, others will be in the benefits, and so on. Fine. So the main, first of all, you need to know about how to recruit. So you need to work in the recruiting. So if you want to be an HR manager after 7 years or 8 years, you need to know how to recruit, from where you can get recruited. Then you need to know about the training. What are the methods and tools of the training? How you can measure the training. Then you need to know how you can just calculate the benefits, how you make compensation for the people, how you can make job analysis. And according to your country, you need to know the labor law in your country and the legal compliances. The last one is to know how to maintain safety for your staff, how to engage them. These are the main 5 functions in the HR. After that, if you finish this level, and it will take you for about 5 years, 6 years, 7 years to just be a professional, then the next stage, just to be a little bit a supervisor or mid-management, you need to how to engage in difficult conversation by enhancing your active listening, enhancing your communication skills, enhancing your interpersonal skills. Try to master how to resolve conflicts and to develop empathy with everyone in the organization, from the top management to the smallest one in there. Okay. Then after that, the last step for being an HR manager, first of all, when you are an HR manager, it is different than you be an associate or just a staff in the HR, like an HR generic or HR analyst. You need to know some from the project management, because when you be an HR manager, you need to know some info about how to if you get a project, how you plan for this any projects, how you set milestones, how you make deadlines for it. Then you need to set the values. What are the values of the companies and what are the values of your department? And you need to maintain a balance between them. Third one, and the most important one in the middle, how to deal with the data, the info, how you put your hands in some numbers, how to be an HR analytics, how to get these numbers and statistics and convert it into useful data. The last thing, and it is according to your budget, with the company budget, how to use the technology, the fastest technology and the recent technology. Right? So when you get the numbers, this is how you use the analytics. You will use the numbers and information in the workforce planning. You will use it in the talent sourcing, which people you want to get. It is okay for you now, it is beneficial for you to get people, or you will lose money and people will be high cost for you. So you will not be able to just hire now. What is the cost of the onboarding? What is the cost of the training? Which training is good for you, the in-house training or training from the outside, and so on. So every function in the HR, it needs to use the data. It needs to use some analysis, retention, benefits, compensation, whatever. You need to use the data. So this is how to be an HR professional. You need to get to know HR function. You need to master interpersonal skills, and then you will be able to just go a level up and master the strategic capabilities. So after that, the question that most of you ask, which certification should I take? Most of you will ask which certification you will take. Do you have any clue about that? Anyone?
No.
Right. First of all, you will get your bachelor degree, a relevant degree. It can be business, it can be commerce, it can be accounting, whatever. Doesn't matter. There is, in my country, there is no qualification for the HR. So after we get, for example, the business administration or commerce or finance, some of us will choose to work with an HR. And most of the countries will be that. Now, recently, from a couple of years back, they started to do a bachelor degree in the HR. Before that, it was not there. After you get a bachelor degree, the best thing that you will get an HR diploma, and go for the diplomas that will give you a comprehensive knowledge in the HR, because HR diploma is just a brand, it's just a product that is there in the market. A lot of company will sell you this any product. You need to buy the product that you will invest in it. When you invest in it, it means that you will just go for a diploma in your country, and this diploma will give you a deep knowledge in the HR. This is the first step. So you get hired in any organization, that in any department in the HR. Later on, you will just plan that every couple of years you need to work in another department. This, or you will be, for example, after 5 years, you'll be the head of the training, or you need to be an HR generic, where for example, you will work in the training for a couple of years, and then after that, a couple of years in the recruitment, then after a couple of years in another department, and you'll get an HR diploma. This will be your asset at this stage. After that, you need to go for a certification. Certification, it means that when you go certified, you need to get a well-known certificate from well-known organization. And in the world now, there are two main big entities that give a qualification. One of them is the CIBD qualification. CIBD, there is some levels in the CIBD. You can just Google it if you have it, or if you know it. Something called CIBD. It is certification that has certain levels. I think this goes with the UK standards. And there is another certification from an organization called HRCI. HRCI, it gives you certification like BHRI, which is professional in human resources, international. And later on, if you are a manager, you can get another one, which is senior professional in human resources. Another one is called GBHR, which is global. So I will just not go for the details of that, but I recommend you that you will start with an HR diploma. Then after a couple of years, you get another one, certification. This certification, believe me, it is your key to work in global companies outside your country. It will be your key. If you want to go for the GCC, it will be for them. Wow, if you get an CIBD certification or whatever, or you get an HRCI certification like the BHRI and so on. After that, when you are a mid-management, when you are a mid-manager, when you are a supervisor, you can go for the MBA. But don't go for the MBA now. MBA now, yes, it's fine. Most of the people will go for the MBA. But MBA at your young age is not a value added for you. It's just a name in the CV. It will cost you time and money and so on. But for your career, you need a boost, which is knowledge in the HR. You will take it from the experience, plus knowledge from the training, HR diploma. After that, take a certification, a good certification. Later on, after a couple of years, you need to just get another certification and so on. So the certification is your way. It is your ticket to the big organizations. And as much as you spend time in studying and doing whatever there to get this certification, you will get paid back. Believe me in that. But let me again here complete here this one. So here after that, here it is. You will get the you will work in that, and you will get a degree, then the HR diplomas or whatever, and then you will get the license, then the MBA. Right. After that, we'll go for the modern practices in the HR. I will go through my position quickly, and then I will give the answers for you people if you want to ask me something. What are the modern practices in the HR? Anyone knows? Anyone faced something before in the practices?
Can you repeat the question?
Simply, when we get the corona a couple of years back, everyone was sitting at home and is doing his work virtually. So one of the tools is to master the virtual tools. How to use Zoom. Zoom is not only sharing content, and there is a lot of tools in the Zoom. There's a lot of apps. Most of the companies, for example, they are using something called Microsoft Team, because Microsoft Team, it came with the package of the Office, Word, Excel, and so on. So, and it is more secure. So it has a lot of tools, Microsoft Teams, Google Teams, and other things tools. So most of the functions in the HR in the future, it will be virtual, where you can be at home and you can do the recruiting, for example. During the Corona, I was there in the UE. We are locked down for about a couple of months there, and we used to give training online. It was difficult at the beginning, but after that it was easy, because when you master these tools, for example, in the Teams, if you when we're using the Microsoft Teams, I can put people in rooms. I can put, for example, the lady here and was Danish and Sham, for example, in the room, and let them discuss. And the other room I can put under 2 or 3, and the other room I can put 3, and I can go between the rooms. The 3 of you will not see the other 3 what they are doing. So I can give exercise here, exercise, as if we are in a real life, in a classroom, where I can make 3 people sit together at the end of the class, and other people sit at the other end of the class, and so on. So there are a lot of tools in the. And this was one of the, and later on, I think that Microsoft or Meta, they just announced that later on HR will be on the metaverse. So you will be interacting with a lot of stuff, recruiting, virtual meetings, training on the metaverse, where you have these goggles, and then you will just do a lot of interaction with your colleagues. So later on, you'll not be there physically, but your mind and everything there will be on the cloud, on the virtual, and you will do a lot of function there. So you need to be updated with what is there in the market. Now, what are the most recent practices there? One of them is focusing on the data, on the data. You need to know how to use the HR data, some analysis, some statistics, how you can maintain graphs, how we can build, how we can, from the graphs, you can get the data, how we can use, it's not about the color of the graphs, but how we can make useful graphs that give you useful information to take a decision. How you can use the virtual functions, recruiting, training, retention, salaries, all of them will be virtual later on. And how we can make analysis to get to just drive your strategy. Because when you are a manager, strategy is a lot of plan. It's a big plan. You need to just break down into some milestones. This one, it's not that easy. And to do a good strategy, you need to do a lot of analysis. And analysis, it's not a word. It is a science. And most of it, you will get it by practice. Some of it, you will get by some courses. And in personal embassy, where you can just now in the recent world, where you have to give an embassy and with everyone in there. The best HR practices, it is there. And it is there, this according to the IHR Academy to innovate the HR, which is the best practice, how to provide security to the employee. Because a lot of stuff, they can leave the organization if they don't feel secure. It's not again about the salary, it's not about the promotion. If you are there and you find that for example, that your manager is bullying you, and he just always threatening you that you will be fired if you didn't do, and so on. So if you feel insecure, you will just leave the work. So best practice is to provide security to the staff. Then, and selective hiring, how to hire the right people. And it's not that easy, because when you go for the interview, as much as you do hiring, you find that there is no right or wrong. There is tools that you can use to just choose the right person, because maybe the one that you will just refuse now is very good, but you are not qualified enough to just let him tell you what he has from knowledge and info and the practice. Maybe you will just, I don't know, you just put a lot of tension on him and you will lose the right candidate. How you can manage yourself, how you can self-manage, and how you can build teams. To build teams in the HR, it is one of the good things. If you are able to work as a team player, you will be able to manage yourself and build teams. How you make a fair and performance-based compensation. And this is the hectic of every organization, because everyone is complaining that he didn't get or she didn't get a fair pay, or the performance was unfair, the manager likes this man, he just go with him outside, drink coffee, so we'll give him a high performance, and so on, and a lot of things. So fair performance and based compensation, this is a hectic for everyone. You need to just be fair at this. And training relevant skills, because some organizations, they give the training as if a training is just wasting time, or just they have numbers in the sheet that we are training people, but actually people doesn't benefit from the training. And when you give a training, you need to know how to measure the ROI, or return on investment. If you now invested in someone, for example, to take a training in the customer service, how you will just check it. Studies showed that the return on investment can be checked or measured after 6 months from getting training. Because now, for example, if I choose two of you, one, and I told you that this function you need to do, and one of you I give you a training, and the other one I told him I will just watch you. So the two of you will try to do their best to give me the work that's needed. So it's not the training that will push the other one who didn't get the training, but because you know that he has been watched by the manager. So you need to train relevant skills. You need to check the ROI of the training. And the one before the last is to make creating a flat and regulation organization. And there was a say there for this gentleman who created Apple, Steve Jobs, who was talking about his organization, how his organization, Apple, it was like a flat organization, that it was like a team. It's not a big organization that has a lot of hierarchies and team. There are people there, a flat organization, one responsible for the marketing, other for the finance, and other that. It was teams. So how to make a big company in at least the flattened organization? This will help to be to just deliver a high efficiency for the organization. And the last one is making information easily accessible to those who need it. Since you are in the HR, you are involved in every function. You are involved in the marketing. Which people give the best marketing, which people are high benefit for the organization, which one get the training, and a lot of things. Same in the marketing, in the finance, in every department, HR is involved in everyone. Before we finish, if you want to be an HR, you need to draw your plan. Just draw it. After this session, sit with yourself. It's not about a session. If you come here today, this means that you are looking to be a professional HR. So you need to put a plan for yourself. Don't just declare the presentation and that's it. No, draw your plan. Tell yourself, for example, that I need to be an HR in 7 years, 8 years. And during this 7 years, I need to just take a course this year. And after a couple of years, I'll take this course and so on. I will take this qualification. And during that, I work in this and this. So you need to draw your plan. And you move. Don't let anyone move you because you are unqualified. If you are professional in your work and you know every bit in your work, if you know from A to Z in your work, your manager will keep you. So you need to move yourself, not like the chess. The other opponent will just move you out of the board. You need to move yourself. You need to choose the strategic positions. You need to be the one who win the game. And to be like the yellow boat here, to be a leader, not a minion like the orange one. When you be a leader, everyone will follow you. If you be a minion, you will be in the others. So there is a Chinese say that I like. It's called, they said that you need, if I'm just trying to just translate it, it is the best for you to be the head of a rat, not the tail of the lion. So you can be in a small organization and get your position as the manager, rather than be a tail in a big organization and just to be a minion who will do whatever they ask. Now, people, this is the small presentation that I just prepared for you. Now I'm ready to hear your questions. Go ahead and let me know what you think about this one, and what you need me and what you need to ask me.
Greetings, Ahmed Elsherif.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Am I audible to you, sir?
Yes, yes, fantastic.
Yes. My apologies for joining late. I was little away for some, emergency. I have
No
just
worries.
come here. I have seen your presentation on the modern HR practices, which you have gone through from right person, hiring from the right person to, up to you manage the right information for the people to make right decisions, which are really awesome, sir. Good learning. I didn't disturb you in between. The presentation was so much like what they have learned in their classes. Really, it's a practical exposure for them from your presentation today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Really,
Doc.
really, we are grateful to you for your presentation. And also you have mentioned about draw the HR plan, what they wanted to go for in future, which was awesome. Really, they have to sit and sensitivize and work towards the plan, what they are going to execute. And then taking initiative, creating a culture and going with like a kind of that boat you have shown. They have to move forward, take forward everybody towards that culture. That is something. Another important element, these young people, they need these skill sets to start initiating their efforts, right? So then as a leader, they have to start to work. It's really awesome presentation, the flow. Thank you so much, sir, for your presence, your time and your energy. You are sharing thoughts and your preparation. That's so much important. It's not an easy thing, and after your work and everything, you put efforts for our students and prepared well, and you have brought in all the insights. I'm really, really grateful to you, sir.
Actually, I like people from India a lot because my
Thank
best
you.
friend in the GCC for about 10 years is called Phoebe Francis. I think he is from Kerala, and he is like he's like my sibling. And
Very good, sir. Great, sir.
as
Great.
much as that, just I admire him. So when anyone from India just ask me, and it is a pleasure to be there because all the support that I get from Phoebe. You cannot imagine. He was a fantastic and a friend. So when I meet people from you guys and find this young youth who are just eager to be an HR, I am happy to just talk to them because in my age, no one was helping us. We didn't have this technology. Now you go to Mr. Google and type whatever you need and find a lot of info, a lot of resources, a lot of theses, a lot of researches. We didn't have this opportunity to just check and ask, and now we can meet virtual from here and there and just with this Zoom. So I think that it was opportunity for me to learn from you, not the person. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah, it's vice versa. We are also so grateful to you for your sharing and your time. It's though late for us, but we are still very eager to listen to you, sir. It was so much interesting. It was so much interesting to listen to.
Sorry for the timing.
Thank you, sir. Your time is so important. The priority is getting expertise like you people to come forward to share with our students is our priority.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's start with some questions. Maybe you can give some insights about yourself and your background, how you started, the passion, how you arrived to the human resource side. Will give them some kind of like motivation and inspiration.
Yeah. I think we covered this in the morning, but yeah, in the early session. But I started in a bank for about at the credit department for about 5 years. Then I have been moved to the HR. Why HR? Because I like to deal with people. I like to deal with their emotions, with their motives, how to motivate them, how to engage them, how to listen to them, to communicate with them. So I moved to the HR. It was I think it was in 2000 something like that, 2001. At that time, HR was not known in Egypt like a lot. It was a function like the personnel, which is only about the salaries, benefits, and so on. Now is HR it has a lot of functions and a wide scope. So this was a big scope for me. For my qualification and certification, I get a couple of certificates, couple of diplomas, diploma in the HR, train the trainer, master trainer from Hayes, certified human resources manager from Columbia Southern, and other couple of certificates there in the on LinkedIn. So every couple of years, I need to get another certification just to know what is recent there in the HR, what's going on, what is the recent terminologies, what is the recent things. As I was speaking to the younger colleagues, at my time, for example, recruiting, it calls recruiting. Now it's called talent management, where talent management, it's about recruiting and the training and retention. So they put some functions together and they changed the name to talent management. They added another function, which is the engagement. And it's added to the compensation benefits. Now, benefits is not only about physical benefits. It's about how we let people feel that they are home or they are just engaged in somehow with the organization. For example, that in our organization in GCC, one of the benefits that we used to give to people, for example, that if someone is good at the end of the week, a manager choose one and give him 2 hours to just leave early. It was new for us. It's to leave early for 2 hours for him or for her. It is a fantastic thing. Or we can give them, for example, tickets for cinema or tickets for dining outside. Maybe for the family it is small, but when you appreciate stuff in a way, they will find that it is personal for them, that it is very, they will just appreciate it highly, and it will impact their performance.
That's wonderful, sir. Thank you for that basics, how you started your qualifications and moving towards this field. And I think most of the questions you have answered. That one thing I would like to ask, or any students, maybe they have the questions. How the selection? What is the major thing you looked at while selecting people in an organization? Are you very keen about their attitude, their passion, their skill sets, their knowledge, or the experience?
Yes, it is about not about experience. Experience, it differs according to the position. If we need, for example, a senior, so experience is a must. But if we need a junior, we'll go for his characteristics. How he just, for example, how he is engaged in the college with some activities, like does he go with some sports? Is he a member of some communities? We are hiring according to the personality. We don't need the shy one, because in every job, there is a situation where someone needs to take a decision. So we need someone to take the lead and take a decision, someone that in the future will be a manager. But if you take someone that was always following orders, or he was not able to just take the lead from himself, it will be a disaster. It's not about the grades. If we looked at some celebrities like Steve Jobs or Bill Gates and other people like those, whatever you like them or not, but they were not the smartest one in the class. They were not the people who get the highest ranks, but they are smart to be successful people. So we need people to think that they can to do. If I get one and he think that he can succeed in his function, he proved to me that he is worthy to be recruited, then we will recruit him or her. It's not about grades. It's not about things rather than the personality in the younger age. In the elder age, mid management, senior management, experience plus qualification, certifications, this will be the right choice that we take. I can't hear the voice.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the insights. Thank you. So, question, students, anything left out from Mr. Elsherif, you can ask.
So I have a question, and it's about how you deal with the employees of your company. It's not an easy challenge to deal with people. So how do you work with that?
As an HR, you need to listen. Whatever you think that you know, ignore it. Listen. Active listening. And it is a thing that I learned later on. It's not one of my advantage, but I learned it a lot, that I need to listen. If you need to solve anything, you need to listen well to the people, to the staff. And you need to listen to the management. It's not about obeying rules or doing the right things. It's not about doing things right. It's about doing the right things, and there's difference. For example, that someone will come to the work and he is late. It's an easy for me to give him a punish or just take some of his salary. I will cut half day of you and so on. But for example, someone came late because he is living in a far away from the work. So rather than giving him cut off the salary, I can just tell him that, for example, I need you to work for me 8 hours or 9 hours. So if you came 8 or 8:30, I will let you, for example, leave at 5:30, for example. So I can just shift his work a little bit or solve it in a way. It's not about giving a penalty or just cut the salary from me. It's an easy to apply what is there in the policy. about leaving and just attendance, but it's about how you listen to the people. Sometimes people, they need someone to listen to them rather than just applying the rules. Listening will solve 90% of your issues, but it needs patience.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Any
Sir,
question? Yes,
yeah.
tell me.
Yes, sir. So it's my question is, what makes a person to be the good HR professionals? To be
Sorry, what make person to be
a good HR professional?
To be an HR professional? In which stage? In the early age, in the mid stage, in the for example, an HR head? Which one you are talking about? Because everyone is different.
Say early stage. As a
Early
fresher,
stage, as a fresher, you need
Yeah.
to work in any company in the HR. You need to take a diploma in the HR and learn every bit in the HR function that you'll go. For example, you will go for the compensation. You need to learn everything in the compensation. You'll go for the data analytics. You need to learn everything in the HR data analytics. You go for whatever you go for the organization development performance, you need to learn, because time will go and you'll find that time is flying so fast in the work and you will not be able to learn everything. So you need to work a lot, learn a lot in the early age, because when you learn a lot, you will be able to move to another department. You will not move from a department to another department until you know everything that you know in this department. Then from the training, then move to the compensation, then the compensation, then move to the recruitment, and work. Never ever say that this is dumb work, this is a routine work, this is a work that I will, it's not the thing that I am hired for. Do anything. Try to just shadowing everyone that you think that he knows everything there. Just learn from him or her. Be the shadow of the people. Every department has its own champion. And my advice for you: be secretful. Whatever you see, whatever you hear, just HR needs to have his or her mouth shut, because you will see a lot of things. For example, someone the management needs to fire. He can be your close friend. You must not tell him or her that, for example, that your performance is bad and you need to keep your mouth shut and be secretful. Someone that they just tries. Be a gentleman with everyone there. Be the top one there in the department who knows everything, and try to teach everyone else. The one who keeps info to him, I think that I have the info in my hand and no one will get there. Believe me, it will get out of his hand sooner or later. And everyone will know that this guy is not a good one to be any trusted. But the one who's helpful and try to help others, try to learn and give aid to everyone, this one will get be boosted fast in his position.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Next question. I think most of the questions you have answered, Mr. Ahmed Elsherif, during your first opening address itself. I was late, but I understood that 7 modern HR practices which answered from the compensation to the training and development, career development, decision making, and even selection, hiring right people, taking, and instead of doing things right, you have to do the right things. That's something you have addressed it. And so many things, which even students didn't think about asking you, you have brought in and shared with us. It's 1 hour almost. I think you started by 8:30 our time. It's already 9:30. You have spent your valuable time with us. If any last question we wanted to host from our students, ask our students, we can go for it.
Any question, folks? If you want to ask anything, I'm there for you. If you want to ask later, you can just send it later and then I can just reply to you.
Sure. And also we need your support in future. We'll work with you. Please mentor us, our Adithya School of Business Management and our MBA students and the faculty. Give us continuous updates on the happenings of HR in international perspective. so that we will also together learn and help the young community for the
Sure,
future.
sure.
We need
Sure,
people like you, the practitioners, support for the academics to grow. Yeah.
Sure, sure, anytime. And if I may ask the admin to send me this video after they finish, I need to review
We'll be
also my
sending you this link after uploading in YouTube. Then you can
Sure.
have a reference on it and you can use it.
Yes,
further.
sure.
Yeah, we'll post it so that our students can understand, and you also can share it wherever you wish to share. You can share it, no problem.
Thank you.
Give me a day or something, sir. We will send it to you.
Anytime, I'm there.
Yeah, because tomorrow we are leaving for an outbound training for 3 days. We'll be coming back only on Monday. If possible, we will send you by tomorrow. If not, we will send you by Monday. Please bear with us.
Anytime,
Yeah.
sure. Anytime when you are just free.
Thank you so much, sir. So with that note, I would like to register once again on behalf of our management and me. I'm Dr. Sundar Nadarajan, Professor and Director of Adithya School of Business Management. My apologies for being late, but I would
sir,
like to.
No, anytime, no.
So I'm so much thankful and grateful to you for the time and energy you have spent, and valuable sharing more than anything is so important for us. I listened to every part you have expressed during your discussion through this video. Then we will try to put forward in our day-to-day classrooms, and we will work with you. I'll get the contacts and I'll work with you further on our students' development, sir.
Sure.
Thank you for being a mentor for us, for our ASBM, and have a great day and good evening. And thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, doctor, and thank you all the wonderful youth there, and wish you all a successful career in your life.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wish you also all the best for your career.
Thank you.